Hello, I am Troy White. I'm with Hoodoo Financial, finance and investment firm located in Oakland, California. We see clients digitally. I don't meet very many clients face to face because clients are located throughout the U.S., primarily in this Bay Area where I am from, but that's me. Today, I want to cover a finance and investment issue that has roots in entrepreneurship and a lot of different things. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I just want to give my opinion on some current event and how it relates to finance investment, what I do specifically, my opinion on that, how I've been affected similarly in the past, and let's do it. So fundamentally, what I want to talk about is a question that I am posing to myself lately, and I've been hearing floating around the internet lately. So this is a question that's out of my brain, or me, for myself. So the question is hood business just plain old dangerous business? And the reason I'm even bringing it up is based on Nipsey Hussle situation. So I want to, as I've been thinking about his circumstance, it's making me reflect on my past experiences. And as I think it through, it's just bringing that question to my mind. And it's not a matter of, okay, I'm going to turn my back, or I'm kind of trying to convince you in a negative way, or, to turn our back on our community. But what we have to do is an analysis and try to identify, okay, what is the best way to help our community? How should we help our community? How do we turn around the community? So, as usual, I make bullet points on topics, on issues related to this topic that I want to discuss. So I'm just going to go down my list. And my first bullet point, so opening a business in the hood to improve the community. Okay, that has been my driving force since I was in my 20s. And I'm not in my 20s. I'm actually 51. I think, something like that. All right. So, about opening business in the hood to improve the community. I have had several businesses. They've all been in the hood. Sort of. Well, downtown Oakland too. I've had offices. I'm in downtown Oakland right now. It's not the hood. And I've had other offices in downtown Oakland. But fundamentally, I do business with people in the hood. And I've had businesses smack dab in the middle of the hood. And this is Oakland, California, as one of the cities in America is known as we got hood activity happening. So I have been in the center of it. So I'm reporting to you the reality from the front line of the war on our community. Whoever is a bit against us, whatever is happening, that's what we're going to talk about. But just like Nipsey, he in the middle of the war. I mean, he trying to help. He trying to make things better. And I could talk about him a little bit. I don't know him. I don't know that much about him. But all I know is that I literally have research on Nipsey Hussle based on courses that I'm making, a book that I just wrote. lots of things. There's a course that I'm doing for um, musicians and artists, and it's to discuss the financial services aspect of things they need to, how to become an entrepreneur, you know, and I could tell you about. And so my motivations come from the music business, hip hop industry. That's where I'm from. I spent significant number of years in action and activity and made significant amount of dollars in the music industry in Oakland, California, and throughout California, and in the South. But and so that's why I've felt some connection to this story before the tragic events occurred. I'm very, very, very excited about Nipsey Hussle, and very, very, very excited that I have someone else as an example to follow. In my research, in my writings, I follow people like him, people like Nas, people like Puffy, people like E40, people like Too Short, and on and on and on. You'll be surprised at how many people in the hip hop field, in the music business, are entrepreneurs, and hip hop just happen to be selling records. Just happen to be one aspect of what they're doing. So this is a big importance to me to discuss this. So this is how come Nipsey Hussle came to my attention. All right, and his music, I'm a West Coast mob music fan, so that's the type of stuff I like, But anyway, so my bullet: opening businesses in the hood to improve the community. Now we always hearing about that. We always hearing, because we need to cut, all this vilification of people who have made it out, and the perception that they don't never do nothing for the hood. They just made theirs and they got out of there. We hear a lot about that, and so these two sub bullets. Let me just get it out of the way. The pros of opening businesses in the hood are glorified, but the cons are not ever discussed at all. Pros and cons. We hear about people need to come back and give back to the community, but we don't never hear nothing about the negative stuff. I'm about to tell you some of the negative stuff out the horse's mouth, out somebody who had businesses in the hood, just like Nipsey Hussle. It ain't all good. And so I'm bringing that up because I never even really paid that no attention. I just accepted that it's always all a struggle, gonna be a struggle opening a business in the hood, and that's the only place I ever wanted to open them, is because I wanted to, the whole story, man. We want to revitalize our own thing. We want to provide jobs. We want to see it being vibrant activity in a flourishing African American economy. But we don't never hear nothing about the bad stuff. I'm about to tell you some of it. All right. My next bullet. Police used to walk the beat and knew all the business owners in the area. At least that's how it used to be on television. That's what I've been led to believe it used to be like, because on these TV shows that used to come on, you always got the happy police officer walking the beat, getting free stuff from the store owners up and down the block, and engaging in good conversation, and their mere presence deters the negative activity and encourages positive activity, and that in itself it encourages economic activity. So that's how you end up with a flourishing neighborhood. Now the police part, I wasn't there. I wasn't there in the 50s or whatever when there was a thriving community. It was a Caucasian community. They wouldn't have allowed me to be there. But if I was a fly on the wall, what I have, from my understanding now, they had police walking around. All right, in the businesses that I've had in the hood in East Oakland, on the streets where where people call it a hood, right? I can give you the addresses if you want. In Funktown, in the Deep East, in West Oakland. I've had it all over. You know what I'm saying? Well, in those places, not ever, not never, not once was I ever visited. Not once ever visited my business. Never a police officer came by. Never. All right? They never visited my businesses. They never interacted with nobody around here in no positive way. They never came and introduced themselves to me as the business owner. Whereas, at least on TV, hi, Officer Phil, hi, Bob, they're talking. They seem to know each other. How's the kids? Oh, well, this and that and this. Oh, how's Sally? Oh, yeah, our anniversary. They chopping it up like that. At least on TV. I wasn't there in reality. I don't know how it really was. But this is what they portraying to me as the purpose for the police. All right. They never visited me. Next bullet. When your business is in the hood, you in the hood. All this, I'm trying to get out of the hood, right? You're trying to improve your life so you can get away from the dope fiends and the winos. But if your business is there, you're still with the dope fiends and the winos. You know what that does? That puts your mind in the hood. Your environment is the negative of the hood. Your influences become the hood. You become hood. Who got something? Who gonna say that's incorrect? I wish I was interacting with you right now. You go, I wish I was listening to the people out there and say, no, that's not true. Yeah, it happened to me. I got drugged back into the hood. And I'm gonna tell you some of these stories. And I might get pissed off as I tell you this story. Cause it's the Nipsey story. I just ain't dead. And it's more than one time. It's more than one time. I got drugged back into the hood. I knew I was, I don't just mean I was physically in the hood. I'm talking about I was drugged back in time. My name is Troy Dwayne White. But I'm going to start telling you about this business when I had. And I sold it in 2013. When I was at that business, 100% of the time, I was T. Roy. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. And I have been trying not to be that dude for a while. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm still myself. But I'm just trying to be nice about how I'm trying to convey what I'm trying to convey. I'm not trying to, I don't want to, overblow myself. And I don't want to speak ill of myself and give you the wrong impression of myself. But I'm trying to be truthful. And so what I mean is, that motherfucking laundromat drugged me back to the motherfucking hood, to where I was hood. I didn't have to. First of all, I looked that way. All right, let me just. The circumstances ended up to where I was no longer really in the financial services industry, sort of by happenstance. And I had 2 laundromats. Those took over, and I didn't have time for the financial services. I'm trying to keep these alive, right? So that's the circumstance. That's how I ended up in this circumstance that I'm finna tell you all these things about. But I got some negativity stuff I could tell you about other businesses too. But this one is hot off the press as far as I'm concerned. I just sold them in 2013. So it's 2019 right now. So that was, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. So, when I was in the kindergarten through high school, K through 12, I think I had a total of 2 fights. You didn't have to fight that much, It was about huffing and puffing, Oh, talking, huff, oh yeah, I can do that, and I don't do that. I don't talk, I'm not a tough guy. State that. I had this laundromat. I started with this one on Seminary and Foothill. I don't know how many murders been over on Seminary and Foothill, but as far as Oakland goes, probably about it's competing for the the highest number, right? Just that neighborhood, just right up in there. All right. So when I was at this laundromat, I had at least a good 4 fights. I had several threats against my existence. It's somebody say they gonna stop you from breathing. Like, what? Oh, we gonna have to resolve this. You know what I'm saying? Should you have to go through this to be a business owner? I'm here trying to do for these people. But you want to kill me. Alright. When I said I got drugged back to the hood, I saw this happening to me. I felt this happening to me. I knew this was happening. And I was like stuck though, like for a while. And yeah, the whole time, I got businesses. You gotta run your businesses. But let's get into it. Let me tell you some of this stuff, man. All right. Like I said, I had 2 laundromats. The other one was they both was in East Oakland. So one of them is in a section that's sort of, kind of like the essays, the Mexican gangs over there. The other one's black people. All right, I'm just gonna start telling you about some things, some scenarios that happened, and I can't even remember them all, man. I can't even remember them all. But none of this you shouldn't have to go through. All right, simple stuff. Threats, right? I don't handle threats too good. Somebody threatened me, I want to get it over because I'm scary. So I cannot exist knowing it's somebody with a target on my back. Hey, let's get it over with. That's how I am. So I'm here. So in my laundromat, I got flat screen TVs all over the place. Not all over, but it's 4 of them. One over there, one over there, one over there, one over there. So while you doing your laundry, people watch flat screen. Somebody told me, oh, so and so said something about, oh, yeah, we was we was gonna steal the flat screens, but I called off the hounds. So you telling me you in control of my business to where you got control over the hounds out here and you calling them off? So you running my spot is what you trying to say. So, I, I'm starting to huff and puff like a tough guy. So I confronted this dude, right? Hey, partner, what you talking about? Who? Since you know you calling off the hounds, I don't need your backup. Show me the hound that you calling off. I got an issue with that cat. Whoever you talking about was gonna take my TVs. Show me where they at. Since you know them so good, let's go handle it right now. Or is it you? You know what's going on? So you see, I'm getting hyped now. I'm like, and so that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel what Nipsey think. He see the dude come around. Oh, partner, you ain't even supposed to be around here, man. What's up? And there you go. So I was like, oh yeah, I was in that same circumstance almost, sort of like. And me and dude, first he bowing down. It ain't. It's this, and this. And then when a couple few, words is being said, and eyeballs is, people like, what, they over there funking, and then now his chest come out. So now I got permanent beef, right? And that sucker, I could tell you another story about him. I'm gonna tell it to you right now. This fool truck. So then I catch this same fool. First of all, the fool go to jail. And now I'm in the middle of hood tales. I know every tale about every fool in this neighborhood. I don't be wanting to be involved in your jail stories and all of this. All the hood crimes and stuff. I don't. That's not me, man. I don't want to know about that. But yet, since I'm in the hood, this is the conversation going on. Ain't nobody in there talking about nothing that I ain't having no financial conversation. I'm not having no, entrepreneur. Don't nobody want to hear that. We're in here. I thought I was going to be delivering the information from the hood that everybody's looking for, but nobody wants to hear it. Nobody was interested in any of this information I'm telling them. I'm trying to encourage you can start a business right here. It's closed down. Storefronts all next to me. Next door to me is closed. I rented that one. I rented the space right here to start it. We opened it up. And that spot was so little. That's a whole other thing. Another business owner, matter of fact, that's why I didn't open that one. Another business owner, he had a cell phone shop in the 90s, meaning the 90 blocks. We're in seminaries over around in the 60s. So dude had this a cell phone, like a metro store, and he was known for hooking up people and being a pillar of the community. Some fool killed him inside the store over something stupid. And I was like, man, it's dangerous. And man, I'm a nice guy. I don't be wanting no problem. But every business I ever had in the hood, we are heavily armed. Every time I had a business, cause I come out at night. It's night now. I'm gonna come out here, but I'm downtown Oakland. But because when we come out, especially at my laundry, I will be ready for war, just stepping out. But I'm saying that it's not like I was like, dun 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 dun. No, I'm just fully strapped at all times, just nonchalant. Like, oh, where they at? I'm ready. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. But I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. So, similar to Nipsey. No, actually, this one. Let me tell you this one. This one's similar. I don't see. It's like I don't even know where to start. They just keep coming back to my mind. One dude. I opened up, I did some other stuff. I came back. It was still morning, and who do laundry in the morning? Women, housewives. You know, the place got to be safe for the women. It's a laundromat, and I come back. I park my car I got a parking lot in the back. I park my car. A lady come up to me. This dude, he in there jacking off. What? I'm like, I don't believe. What you talking about? Look, let me go back to this. I got drugged back to the hood, man. I'm thinking of this movie. It says it was like drag you back to hell, and that's how I felt, man. Every day I was like, man, I'm struggling again. Back in the middle of, I was here in the 80s. I'm back here again. It's Wild Wild West all over again. I don't want to be involved with that. So how do I save the hood, but I don't want to be involved with that? I show up at the line. Back to that story, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm embarrassed about it when I think about it. The dude was jacking off in full stroke. It's women, they standing back over here. This dude up by the front, because I come in through the back, or it's a front. You can park in the back and walk in too. The dude, I'm shocked. I'm like, man, what the? I want to murderize this fool. I'm thinking like, okay, how am I about to kill him? What am I about to do to him? He don't even see me. And then he startled, he see me, he runs. I'm like, I'm sitting there stuck. I didn't act. I chase him. I do all this. He done. I got drugged back to the hood, man. I'm chasing the dude. I was out of pocket the way I was chasing. I come back to my senses. What I mean is, what I'm going to do when I catch him? I was supposed to hurt the fool. So, come to my senses. I come back to the laundry. But I couldn't get that off. I just felt that was such a violation. So every day I'm looking for this cat because he had been there before. I had seen him before. He had been there. He had hung out there. I didn't know him, but I knew who this dude was. And so, somewhat of a youngster, regular. I'm like, what kind of thug sits in the middle of a laundromat in bright daylight, jacking off? The dude got some kind of problem, but he looked like any other thug from any other cities anywhere else, right? So, actually, and let me point out to you, so did I. First of all, I was wearing boots every day, like my work boots, because I was always doing some plumbing. Every day, it's plumbing. I'm knee deep in plumbing, right? So I'm an expert plumber. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. I fix your plumbing. I won't, but I can. Jeans, hoodie, every day. Black hoodie. Hair on the face. Fro all any which way. So, never had my glasses on, not looking studious, always mug on me. So what I'm trying to tell you is I got drugged back to the hood. So this guy, I'm searching for him every day. Just in a little radius where I so one day anyway, let me cut to the chase. So one day I seen him. I hit a couple corners to try to catch up with him. He disappeared on me. Like, dang. So I keep hitting that area on a regular basis. Bang, there he go, right there at the Burger King. I parked, the dude just hanging out at Burger King. I see him. Say, he seen me walking towards him. I could tell he don't even know who I am. And I'm just walking straight to him. He like, why is this dude walking up to me, right? He get a nod like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, partner? Bang! I start mopping him. Got drugged back to the hood. If you knew where this street was, you'll be like, you did what? Right there? This is heavy activity street. It's like at that point I'm back in the 80s, man. Got drugged back to the hood. That's one thing. I'm just gonna go try to smash through a list of these incidents, man. It's not all good opening businesses in the hood. All right. Dope fiends spoil your business. Dope fiends always trying to come and use our bathroom, first of all. Again, I'm an expert plumber now. When you own a business, who's the one clean the toilets? Who's gonna clean the toilets at your business? You are. You own it. Oh, I'm gonna hire somebody. Yeah, right. Even then, the toilet gonna be messed up. That person you hired ain't gonna be there. You're gonna realize the buck stops here. It's up to you. Dope fiends always want to use the bathroom. Hopefully you never have to experience dope fiends. When dope fiends smoke dope, they need to use the bathroom. Put it like that, and it's all bad. Unfortunately, I got experience with knowing about dope fiends. I got internal hostility towards dope fiends. So I apologize if I disparage dope fiends. And so I'm trying to calm down. All right, so another story. Dope fiend come in there. I had cameras and stuff, so I was in the office of the laundry, and me and my cousin ran the laundry. It was just us two. I couldn't afford to hire staff to, be the ones. No, it was me and my cousin. If he ain't there, I'm there. If I'm not there, and this is another thing. This is not one of them laundromats in them little pretty little towns and pretty little suburbs where it could be unattended and everything is gonna be cooked. No. Remember, what am I talking about? Is hood business just dangerous business? This show was every business I ever had in the hood was dangerous. Dangerous. I'm dangerous, just like Nipsey. I'm just not dead. All right, here go another. Dope fiend in the bathroom smoking crack. This is not the first time, so understand at this point, I done warned all the regular dope fiends, don't come in here trying to use this bathroom. All the regulars. All right, this cat a regular. He know. So anyway, my cousin came He pulled up. I was in the office. I was looking on the cameras. I had the cameras, the screen show me all the little different views from the cameras. My cousin came in. I see him, checking. He doing his route, making sure everything's good. And then I just start disregarding him. I'm back on the computer. I was doing some stuff, right? So, I hear my cousin hollering. It was my cousin and his wife, and so I hear my cousin saying, "Cuz, come out of the room, come out the house, come out the house." I'm like, man, what? I look on the camera, I don't really see nothing happening. I come out, so I come out this door, then come out that door. Bam, and then I'm right there, like at the front door. My cousin, his wife, is standing in front of the door, blocking the door fiend. I'm discombobulated, like, because I just heard my cousin saying, "Cuz." I'm like, what's the problem? Said this fool smoking crack in the bathroom. It's on. Fight. This particular dude, since I had told him before, don't come in here with that. His pants were sagging, but he had a belt on. He on the ground. Give me that belt. He received a whooping. This same laundromat. All right. That particular incident just multiplied out one. As far as the Dolphin stories, multiplied out in time. That's nothing. Multiplied out in time about 5 or 6, right? Here another one. Now this one, what time is it? I don't know, I'm probably rambling on. I might not even post this or nothing. It might not even be worth listening to. I'm just discussing it anyway. This one, let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I told you a few minutes ago I'm scary. So I need to handle a problem. We got a problem, I'm gonna handle it right now, because that's just how I am. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I'm too scared. If we funkin', I don't want to fight. So let's fight right now. We're gonna win or lose, and we finna get this over with. So it's a little team. They was grinding over there, the store over there, but spot got hot. So they trying to migrate over here. So they trying to sell their dope in here. And it was actually pretty cool, because what they had was as if they're washing the clothes, and when the customer come, just, you reach in your pile of clothes, but then the girl did. Anyway, I don't want to tell you all that, revealed to them who, I don't want to talk about people like that. Point is, I ain't no fool, man. I know what's up. Once you know what's up, what you gonna do? Think about that. You got a business in the hood. I'm probably talking to some people who live in the hood, so you know where the spot at, where everybody is right there selling their product, right? Grinding is what we call it out here. I don't know what you call it where you at, but doing illegal business. So, what you gonna do? Your business is being taken over. So, I go in the back. I'm lying to myself on Monday. Well, they ain't really doing that. I'm lying to myself on Tuesday. Well, yeah, that's what it looked like, but they ain't really doing that. Not to me, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. How long are you gonna lie to yourself? All right. So I'm not a person that confront on my own self. You know, it called spade a spade. So I went in the back. I went in the parking lot. I said, you know, to have a conversation with myself. All right, you gonna be a punk and let these cats take your business? If so, then you know what I'm saying. Then you just going through this struggle for them to do that. Then I don't want to do that. So okay, bow down and say, here, you can have my business, or go up there and shut that down. Oh man, but they might not like that. They might confront me back. They might say, no, we gonna take this here. What you gonna do? Right? That's potentially the answer. And then how do you confront thugs and say, you know, how do you address hostility with kindness is really what I'm trying to get to. And emotion and logic and plea your case. Please don't turn my establishment into a drug sales center, kind sir. So when I come to the dude, the key person who really running this little operation they trying to get going, that it's going. It's been in this neighborhood. But now it's right here in my store, in my laundromat, and right here in the front. So you hanging out and shit. So when I confront a cat about that, remember in Fridays when DJ Pooh wanted to get his bike back from Debo. So that's how I'm supposed to go up to dude. Say, all these bills, they be tripping and stuff, I ain't really tripping, but, you can't grind around here, man. And then if he socked me in the face, now what you gonna do? So I had to think about that before I go ask the first question. If he say no, what you gonna do? Okay. Gangsters don't really they don't really appeal to reason. So you gonna go talk to a gangster, try to reason with a gangster that's doing something in front of your face against you. So who are you? What you gonna do about it? It's like Nipsey. So here's what I did. I had to go in the back and get a pep talk. So I got a couple people I talk to. It's yin and yang. It's you could call it angel and a demon, a soldier and what they call it, a pacifist, right? So I had to go consult them two, and so I was crying, straight crying, cause I had to go over to this dude who was in the front with his fan club, basically, right? And put the smash down. Or I'm going to have to get smashed on. And it's fin to happen right now. So get the tears over with. Because out here, tears don't work when you want to have a business in the hood. Because business in the hood is dangerous business. So I'm in the parking lot crying, because I'm saying, man, I'm about to take it there. Wherever they want to take it, I'm obligated to take it there. So I'm thinking of all this what could be lost. But what's my choice? You gotta fight fire with fire. Sometimes. That's how it works. In this city, that's how it works. So I'm back there crying. So alright, I got that cry out. Alright, that cut off. So, like I was saying, so I finish crying. I wipe my eyes. Strap in my pocket. And go have that conversation. They left. Put it like that. So, let's move forward. As I mentioned earlier, police never once visited my business, never introduced himself, never walked in there, never ever came to my business. I always seen them passing by, driving by, mean mugging everybody, like they looking for a victim. You know, who they can take, whose freedom can they remove, and but they never came in. They never introduced themselves. Never said, "Hey, you know, I'm Officer Smith. If you need anything, here's my card." That's what they do on TV. Why this shit didn't happen out here? So let me fast forward, because this is, you know, I'm just rambling and stuff. I want to fast forward, and when I keep saying same thing as Nipsey, but I'm just not there. So there was a circumstance where you know, there's been times where we at those laundromats, guns had to come out, and I'm not gonna tell you all of those times, because you know nobody want to hear all these gangster tales and stuff. But here's one that's interesting. It's like Nipsey. So it really wasn't like Nipsey. Just here's my story. My point is, it's dangerous having these businesses, man. You're trying to save the hood. So. Again, my name is Troy White. I'm a financial advisor with Hoodoo Financial. And the reason I'm discussing these topics is that it's related to the finance and investment, and definitely a part of entrepreneurship. And as we build a successful economy, revitalizing African American neighborhoods, these issues have to be discussed, and we got to come up with some kind of solution. I don't know what it is, but I'm at least telling you stuff because I know it's a lot of fantasizing and not realizing. And the fantasy is that it's just a lack of people coming back and contributing. That ain't so. But those who we are trying to contribute to, you know, I'm just speaking in terms of how they drag you down in a violent way today. But they try to drag you down in economic ways too. But anyway, I'm gonna take this incident. So I'm closing up, and it's a lot of other circumstances that a lot I could lead up to this, but I have intentions to tell this story in a religious capacity for a course, of course, that I'm gonna do. Um, faith and financial planning. But I'm telling it to you now. I'm gonna leave the religious context and connotations out of it right now, and just tell you the play by play of what happened. So I'm closing. Um, I'm thinking deeply about a topic, a spiritual topic at that point, and I'm mopping. I'm not mopping. I'm sweeping. About to mop. I have already made my mop bucket and was prepared to start mopping. It's probably about 11 o'clock at night. I usually have the back door locked. So it's like a door and a metal gate, right, on the door. And that leads to the parking lot, for which the gate is usually closed. Probably not locked, because most people don't even test it. It's a heavy gate. I can hear it unlocking, right? But if you just wanted to like move it a little bit and walk in, right, you could do that without making a sound. All right, so it's 11. I'm sweeping. Basically, cut to the chase. I'm sweeping, not paying attention. I'm slipping, basically. So I look up like this, and it's a 4-5 in my face, you know, with mean words coming at you. I've been robbed. I was gonna say I've been robbed before in Oakland, and you know, you gotta know how it's an actual skill at surviving when you get robbed, right? So, so anyway, 4-5 at your face. So what I was saying in terms of my experiences, you being robbed and with those type of things, they gotta discombobulate you with a bunch of noise and threats and stuff, right? I'm gonna kill you, barking out orders, right? If the police ever jacked you or did something like that, you know that's their tactic. They gonna scream all in your face, get on the ground, get on the ground. You know, you gonna be like, you know, all shocked, right? So I'm sweeping. I'm in deep thought when I was sweeping. I look up. Dude came in the door. He got 4-5 coming up to me real quick, right? So, damn. All right, you got me. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to make him calm. You know, I'm no fast moves. Let me cut out all the tough talk. I talked myself out this situation, right? But not before getting whipped upside the head a few, 4-5 times with the pistol. Not before, I lay down, get on there. Lay down, hey, and he walking me to the back. I'm like, oh, it's over. We get back, but we go in there, back behind there. I could be dead. I probably won't even be found until, maybe the next day, like till my cousin come or something. If, I don't know what time he gonna show up. So I'm not doing that. So anyway, again, I'm trying to put all the tough talk in there. Basically, the dude comes trying to rob me, right? So I talked my way out of that. I had hundreds in my pocket. He didn't even check. Because, I started spitting at him. Hey, it's a long story. I can tell you on another day. But basically, I got him on my side. I engaged him in conversation. I kept him busy and kept him thinking and gave him options and options that were better, better than he was currently thinking, easier. So I had a bucket of quarters in my truck in the parking lot. SUV, right? That was in the back in the parking lot. I just wanted to get from inside here to out there. So at least if he shoot me and I'm on the ground dying, maybe somebody could hear my cries versus if I'm in here in the back where nobody is going to ever hear me. If he shoot back there, it might even be muffled. Might not even hear it again. So that was my thought process. So as we're walking as we go to the bucket, long story, but my backpack is right next to the bucket, which has a tool in there, a 380. So, blah, blah, blah. I keep talking. The dude, matter of fact, this very ring right here, the fool took it. He took it from me. I was like, oh man, it's only silver. This right here is just silver. But that is a special pattern. This is not even my wedding ring. It's just a wedding ring that I wear, right? I like it. This pattern is a muscle car attire. So it's a special designer that makes this ring, and he'll make it out of whatever you wanted to make it out of. But I just say, hey, just give me one. Make it out of silver. It's a muscle car tire. So the dude, again, I was trying to engage him in conversation. Hey, man, if you find your way to let me keep my ring, it's not valuable to you, blah, blah. Just, you ain't gonna get no money out of it. Just let me keep that. You're gonna get this watch. I had a watch, was like $700. I said, man, the watch is worth some bread. You're gonna get the money. You're gonna get your money off the watch. How about you just let me keep my ring? So he's engaging in a conversation with me on that. So therefore, I can suffice that you don't plan on killing me because you're in a debate as to whether I can have my ring. That was helpful information for me. So anyway, he said, no, I'm taking that shit anyway. He took the ring. So I had told him, hey man, I'm going to show you where it's some good money for you, man. You finna make a lot of money. You came up tonight. You hit the jackpot. So I told him, let's go get this bucket of money. I said, just go back there. There's going to be a bucket of money for you. So he forced me to go get it for him. So that's when I saw my backpack. I said, oh, there goes my tool right there. Again, like I said, I was engaged in conversation with him. By the time I was giving him the bucket, which was heavy, I had to pull that heavy ass bucket out of the back of the truck. By that time, he and I are dang near aliases, and we partners in crime. He think I'm helping him steal stuff, right? So again, cut through a lot of red tape. So he said, all right, he gave me my ring back. He said, oh man, thanks, man. Basically he was like, I'm gonna let you get this back. And so he gave me the ring back. But I'm cutting a lot out. He wanted me to go over there and lay down. No, I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm not laying down, man. Another couple hits upside the head, right? Okay. So I go over there, and he's doing that, all that tough talk. If you move, if you do this, I'm gonna get him. My partner right here ain't finna kill you. He ain't finna chop you with the chopper, this and that. So he leaves. He's leaving with remember I said it's a bucket of money. He got a big ass bucket of quarters. This was a bucket of quarters. So it's a bucket like this big, full of quarters, about $1,500 worth of quarters. So, I'm over here, okay, I can hear that he just left out the gate, but it's still wide open. He can hit me. He can shoot me. So I'm sitting here and his thoughts going through my head. And I'm like, man, I'm still alive. Cool. Mission accomplished. I'm still breathing. It's all good. No harm done. And then I'm thinking, and I look, I'm trying to peek, because he said it's a dude right here with the chopper on me. And if I move before he get to the car, his friend is going to chop me up. I'm sitting there. I'm supposed to stay like this, right? But I'm saying, man, why would that fool be still sitting there? After you do a crime, you got to escape. He's not going to stand there and hold a gun on me. I'm like, but what if he is, though? And so then I'm saying, but dang, my pistol is right there in the car. And then I'm peeking out like this. I see the dude walking down the street with the bucket. Well, that means he's carrying it with two hands. The pistol is in the bucket. And I'm like, nah, just let it go. You're alive, right? Nah, fuck that. I get the pistol. Blah, 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 blah. Back to my story. I got drugged back to the hood. I unloaded every single one of them bullets. Dude gun bigger than mine. I only had 7 bullets. Dude, mine is a 380. Here's a 4.5. That's not good. Let me stop there on that story. So then let me tell you this. This is recently. This is the other week. So we saying we're gonna buy back the block. Nipsey Hussle trying to help the community. Trying to buy back the block. Trying to create opportunities. Did the block appreciate him? So we're gonna look at this investment property. Me and my wife. This is a weekend. It's a property in Sacramento, and this is like 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. So we go up to Sac. My mother lives in Sacramento. I got a lot of cousins in Sacramento right now. A lot of people moving to Sacramento. A lot of people. So, me, my wife, my son. We said, all right, let's go up to Sac. We're going to parlay, go get breakfast, lunch, whatever. Go look at the property. Go visit my mother. Drive back home. It takes like 2 hours. Hour and 45 minutes to get to Sacramento from Oakland. So, we go look at the property. It's a multi-unit property. They got 4 units. Man, them people living in straight squalor. Straight slumlords on that property. And I forgot people live like that. And it was bringing me back to, my family wasn't like that, but throughout my growing up, I won't say I lived in anywhere like that, but I've been in them environments, let's say. And I've spent night after night in them type of environments. And I was looking at it, and I had forgot about that stuff. And it brought that back to my consciousness. I was like, damn. do you know? Before I say that, how what it brought to mind, as we walking up to the property, they got the little memorial out in the front, candles and shit, where somebody done got killed. Yeah, killed. Not someone was murdered. Somebody got killed out there. And so this property that I was about to buy, uh, it was clearly the spot. Like it's the worst one. So it's apartment building there, apartment building there, apartment building there, apartment building there. This one looked like the real this you need some narcotics, come to this one. So we in here inspecting the property, and I got my son, right? And I see the other little 7-year-olds walking up. They looking at him like, who is this? And I noticed, damn, my son don't look like they the same kids, but damn, my son look neat and clean and all that. He got on some, he I just recognized the difference and realized I grew up as one of them kids, not like one of them kids, not like my son, because I go to great efforts to make sure his upbringing is comfortable, enjoyable, filled with education, and as much pleasure and excitement as possible as he learns life lessons. I don't believe he needs to suffer in life and he needs to be withheld from opportunity from pleasurable things and toys and shit so that he can learn the ways of the world. Deprive him from good stuff so that he can learn how to deal with this world. That's how, black thought is a lot, how our parents be thinking. You got it too easy. What? So what you want me in slavery or something? It's a such thing as too easy, huh? For your family. It's possible for it to be too easy for your descendants. Shit. Kind of thinking is that. So anyway, that that just brought all of this stuff to mind. It's like, dang, this is what's happening. Nipsey, what I'm saying, this is what's happening. I'm talking about with the Nipsey thing, and stories of people who you don't know, but I know, and they fit in, right? What happened to him? And stories that you know that I don't know. That's the same thing. Those ones that's trying to do well, trying to do good. And, what does it mean, really, to revitalize and rebuild the hood? Does it mean I have to be in the midst of the firing zone? Dodging bullets? It was time, and I'm speaking on that laundromat again. It's times when there was a incident where there was a shootout at somewhere across the street or something. All the ladies in this laundromat run to the back, and everybody hit the floor. And I realized, damn, it's my responsibility to guard them, to save them. They are in fear of their life inside my establishment. And there's shooting going on out there. And, it's like activities, people running. So, potentially, somebody is about to come running in this door with somebody shooting at them. And I got women and some and their children on the floor hiding in fear of their life. So what am I to do? Well, I had my gun in my back pocket, so I pulled my gun out and I'm on top of the, this the wash the big triple loaders. And as soon as somebody come through the door, they about to get shot. I got dragged back to the hood. That's what it means to open a business in the hood.